Thanks for tuning in, guys, to the Pest and Lawn Ginja, and today we're going to go over backpack spray calibration for spraying lawns.
Spraying a lawn can save you a lot of money and heartache if you do it right. The last thing you want to do when dealing with herbicides and pesticides is guess. Guessing is also known as the spray and pray, and we want to avoid it as much as we can because it causes a lot of problems. For instance, with selective herbicides, if you use too much, you're going to kill not only the weed, but the grass. You use too little, and you're not going to kill the weed. Now, there's a lot of factors to consider. How much water, how much product, how fast you walk, how to cover the lawn properly. And in this video, we're gonna teach you from going from the spray and pray to the spray and slay.
Philip drug me to his house. I've been working with you for about a month now, and he went out and purchased things that I recommended for my fall treatment for my video. So one of the things that we went through is, what backpack sprayer did you buy?
So after all the education and research that I've done, and with your recommendation, I went with the FlowZone.
He went with a Chapin first though, and he loved it.
Don't tell him that.
He loved it.
I think I've learned my lesson to always listen to the Ginja.
How's your shoulder?
My shoulder got pretty tired pumping that manual Chapin.
Step number one of the process is to measure out 1,000 square feet. Now, the purpose of this exercise is to make sure that we know how much volume is coming out of the backpack spray, but we want to make sure that we're spraying correctly and know how much time it takes to get through 1,000 square feet.
My recommendation is to make a practice pad on your driveway and measure out either 1,000 square feet, 500 square feet, or 250 square feet. Now, the Ginja prefers 1,000 square feet because it's going to allow us to be more accurate when we get into the steps to come. Now, our boundaries here are at the front of the driveway all the way to the back of the sidewalk. Now, this area ended up being 34.5 feet long by 29 feet wide.
Step number two is to practice spraying. We want to make sure, especially when you're using the sprayer, that you're getting an even spray across the board. You spray too heavy, you're getting too much water on the surface. You spray too little and you're going to get these little pinhole air gaps everywhere, and we want to avoid that too. We want an even spray.
Now, before jumping into the chemical side, let's just make a bunch of practice passes with just water on the concrete. We want a width of spray anywhere between 5 and 6 feet wide. Now, the point of this exercise is to figure out how fast you need to be walking and how fast you need to take the boom left to right. Now, once you've mastered this technique, we're going to move on to another technique that I call feathering. Feathering is what we do along the edges of the perimeter of the lawn to create our first overlap path. You'll notice Philip here is flicking his wrist left to right ever so gently and then into the concrete. This is a technique that professionals use, and when it's done correctly, it's going to look like a feather. Now, the first 2 to 3 feet from right to left are considered the wet edge. That area is twice as wet than the other area that we would consider the first overlap pass. Practicing and understanding both your overlap pass and your feathering is very important to make sure that you don't get lines in the lawn.
Now, our third step is to take our calibrated spray and spray across 1,000 square feet. Now, we're going to do a process of feathering in the corners, and then we're going to do a series of overlaps that go between 4 and 6 feet. Now, these overlaps are what's going to make everything even out and appear smooth across the board so you don't get lines. And this way, instead of spraying and praying, you're spraying and slaying.
Now, in order to slay that lawn, we're going to make a series of overlaps that will allow us to spray the area twice while only going over it once. Now, I know that sounds really confusing, so we're going to make it as simple as possible. And we're going to start with this wet edge and overlap pass, as we talked about, and then move into the overlap. The wet edge needs to be done along the perimeter border, and you're always going to spray into the area, not away from the area. So you notice Philip here is left-handed, so he's going to be spraying from left to right. Now, you have to feather in all the edges. Now, feathering in, keep in mind, we have the wet edge, but it also creates the first overlap pass area off of the wet edge. Now, once Philip gets to the end of the line, he's going to take a couple of steps over, usually about 2 to 3 feet. and then he's going to do a series of overlap. Now the first overlap pass off of the wet edge is traditionally about 4 feet wide, and the rest of the passes are about 6 feet wide, or as wide as you sprayed left to right. Now, I can't express more how important it is to practice these concepts on the concrete so you can make sure that you're overlapping and your pacing is correct. Now, when I get to the end of the line, you're gonna see here, I'm gonna take about 3 small steps or about 6 feet, and I'm gonna end up beginning my next pass where my last pass ended. And if you do it correctly, you can see I'm walking in a straight line with those series of overlaps, and the water ends up going on evenly throughout the rest of the cut. Now, it's important that you perfect this overlapping technique because this is a bulletproof way of even distribution through your lawn, and it will prevent lines and burning. After we figured out how to properly spray and distribute the water through our series of overlaps, we graduate on to figuring out how much water is coming out per 1,000 square feet. Now, we do that by setting a timer and spraying properly over the 1,000 square foot area. Now, I highly recommend that you do this exercise and time yourself going over the 1,000 square foot area several times. You want to make sure that your times are consistent. If your times are not consistent, it means that either your pace is off or your overlap is off. Now, the whole point of this exercise is to make sure that you're using methods that are both valid and reliable when applying pesticides and herbicides.
The most for you, because your second or third pass was way better.
I think one of the biggest things for me was visualizing and trying to, as you mentioned, paint a picture with your wand instead of worrying about the pace, your more uniform coverage.
Right, so that first feather pass is going to be twice as wet as our overlap passes, and it's literally like overlapping with a paintbrush. We want to go over the lawn twice, one time, and I know that sounds really confusing, but that series of overlaps is what gets the lines to disappear. Step number 4, we need to do a little bit of math and calibration to figure out how much water versus how much chemical we need. Now that we've established Philip's pace time or walking speed per 1,000 square feet, we need to see how much liquid is actually coming out of the sprayer.
This is a relatively easy process. We're going to spray into this cup for a total of 15 seconds. Now, we want to make sure that we repeat this process a few times to make sure that the backpack sprayer is spraying consistent. Now, make sure that you write your results down because we want to know the spray time, which in Philip's instance was 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Now, we also want to make sure that we understand how much volume is coming out per minute. So we're going to have to do a little bit of math here. Now, after running the calibration test 3 or 4 times, we came up with an average of 13 ounces per 15 seconds. Now we need to figure out how much is coming out per minute. So we're going to take that 13 ounces and multiply it by 4 to get 52 ounces per minute. Now our next step is to figure out how much volume is coming out per 1,000 square feet. So we need 2 factors. Number 1, how long does it take to spray 1,000 square feet? And we need to convert that from minutes to seconds. And number 2, how much liquid comes out of the sprayer in the amount of time it takes to spray 1,000 square feet. Now to figure out the amount of time it takes to spray 1,000 square feet in seconds is pretty simple. We're going to take Philip's time, which is 2 minutes 47 seconds. And we're going to take the amount of minutes, which is 2 minutes, and multiply that by 60 seconds, which gives us 120 seconds. Now we're going to add the additional 47 seconds to the 120 seconds, which represents 2 minutes, which gives us a total of 167 seconds. Now we're going to take the information that we have and calculate how much liquid will be sprayed out of the sprayer in 1,000 square feet. So we're going to take our ounces sprayed per minute and divide it by 60 seconds. Now this is going to make the calculation easy for us. We know that we sprayed 52 ounces in 1 minute. So we're going to divide that by 60 and that gives us 0.86666. Now we're going to take that number and multiply it by the seconds or the amount of time it took us to spray 1,000 square feet, which in Philip's instance was 167 seconds. That gives us a total of 144 ounces of liquid that's going to come out of the backpack sprayer per 1,000 square feet.
Chemical calibration is going to be the easy part now that we know our numbers and how much liquid is coming out and how much we need per 1,000 square feet.
Now, first things first, safety is the most important part. So we're going to put down some cardboard and some paper towels in case we have a spill. A lot of backpack sprayers are prone to clogging, so I like to pre-mix the chemicals first. And I like to use a jar or a bucket and mix with 20 to 32 ounces of water minimum. Take your time, familiarize yourself with the label. This label calls for 1.2 ounces per 1,000 square feet, and it's a liquid. Whereas this label requires 1 to 2 ounces per 1,000 square feet, and it's a wettable powder. Now, I prefer to mix in 1,000 square feet to make the job easy, and I prefer to pre-mix in a jar for a couple of reasons. Number one, it really shows if the chemical's broken down and it makes it less clumpy in the backpack sprayer. Number two, if you do have a compatibility issue, that's going to happen in the jar. Now, if chemicals aren't compatible, they kind of curd like cheese and they're no longer good to use. Now, if you do experience a compatibility issue, you got two choices. You can pre-mix them in a separate jar with more water and then add them to the backpack separately, or you can spray them separately. Now, it's important that you read the labels because each label will direct what you need to be wearing to protect yourself while mixing, handling, and spraying. Most of them are going to include rubber gloves, hats, long sleeve shirts, long pants, closed-toe shoes, and socks. Now, once you're done mixing the chemical, make sure you shake that jar really, really well for about 30 seconds. Now, whether you do it first or second, you want to make sure that you have half the water in your backpack before you put in the mixture. Now, this will do a few things for you. Number one, it makes sure that you have enough space to put additional water in the tank for mixing, but it also provides a means so you don't over mix the water. Now, if we're only doing one serving or 1,000 square feet, we're going to end up with a total solution of 144 ounces. Now, Philip's got a pretty big yard, and he wanted to know how many 1,000 square feet one backpack sprayer will spray. So what we did is we know that Philip's going to spray 144 ounces of water per 1,000 square feet. Now, we also know the backpack sprayer holds 4 gallons. So if we convert the 4 gallons to ounces, that gives us 512 ounces in one backpack sprayer that's 4 gallons. Now, we're going to divide that 512 ounces by 144 ounces, which gives us 3.55 servings, which one serving does 1,000 square feet. And that means one backpack will do 3,550 square feet. Now that we understand these numbers, if you want to mix for the entire backpack, we just need to mix the 1,000 square foot rate by 3.55.
Okay, so we've done the math, no guesswork. You're going to get through 3,555 square feet out of your backpack sprayer. Now, Philip's got a big lawn. He's got almost 11,000 square feet. So we know you're going to have to fill up that backpack sprayer about 3 times. You know, give or take, which is totally fine. Now, this exercise, it might take a little bit of time the first time, but now if you can learn your walking pace, the only thing you have to do is go back and just make sure that you calibrate with the water. And the nice thing about the FlowZone is it's got a high and a low setting. Now, we chose the low setting because we were getting too much mist out of the cone sprayer, or I'm sorry, the fan sprayer. And so we wanted to dial that down just a little bit. So it's better to walk slower than waste a bunch of product. Step number 5, spray to slay that lawn. Let's go, ninjas. And Philip's left-handed, so he's gonna spray off from the left to the right. Most of us are right-handed, so he's gonna spray into the lawn. You always wanna spray into the lawn. Ready, set, let's go. Spray and slay, baby. And just remember, you wanna keep that pace. Keep that pace. And if you really want to troll somebody or troll yourself, set up a timer. Set up 1,000 square feet in the lawn and go from there. Now, a lot of you guys have noticed that my device is different than the device that Philip got. Now, I ended up with the FlowZone Typhoon 2V where he bought the Tornado. The difference is the volume of liquid coming out. We're doing 144 ounces every 2 minutes and 47 seconds, where my Typhoon 2V will do 128 ounces per minute. A noticeable difference, and it saves the Ginja a lot of time on the lawn because I calibrate at 1 gallon per minute per 1,000 square feet, where Philip here with his device is going to be 144 ounces in 2 minutes and 47 seconds per 1,000 square feet.
Philip is one man trying to save the world one lawn at a time.
Guys, we just took Philip from doing the spray and pray to the spray and slay. How you feeling, Philip?
You know what? It was quite the process, but with your guidance, I think I nailed it.
Yeah, buddy. If you guys at home have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up in the comments. Love to help you guys out. Till next time, guys, this is the Pest and Lawn Ginja. See ya.
So I just want to let you know that Ned lost interest.
He's in the car now.